Conor McGregor seems to be likely to returning. Yes, we've heard this before. This is the last time I'll ever believe in a comeback. However, we're seeing more and more clips like this.
There's one more Conor that's been fairly active on social media right now. Any update on Conor McGregor, possible return?
On him, what?
On a possible return for him?
It's looking good. Believe me, once we get a deal done with him, we will announce it.
Big news from Dana White. We don't usually hear him come out like this unless he's got something cooking. We've heard it all before. We've been here before. It's kind of boring, but this time it does look serious. He had the fight booked against Michael Chandler. That didn't fall through. However, it's looking more and more likely that he will headline International Fight Week against Max Holloway. I've got no clue what division it will be in. 155, 170. Maybe they do some custom weight for him, as he is a big name, whether you like him or not. He's the biggest name ever in the UFC. They could do like some 160, 155, 165 weird fight. Because McGregor has not been in the sport a while. He's not exactly been in fight shape. Can he make 155? Is 170 too big for him? We know Max Holloway can make 155. Is 170 too big for Holloway? Would that have too much of an impact on his performance? However, it is looking likely that he will fight Max Holloway headline in International Fight Week. In this video today, though, I'm here to discuss how he gets on against all of the ranked opposition against within the middleweight, within the welterweight and lightweight divisions. I want to say now, I'm not actually that excited for a McGregor return. He's a big name, but he's not the best fighter in the world, and the UFC is about the best fights, the best fighters in the world. I do not believe Conor McGregor is involved with that. However, it would be smart for him to get a big name and a striker like Max Holloway. We saw Max Holloway's last performance. He's certainly probably not going to want to take Conor McGregor down, but let's get into it. At the lightweight division, Ilia Topuria is the champ. Does Conor McGregor beat Ilia Topuria? I'd have to say no, funnily enough. Yeah, I don't think Conor McGregor gets anywhere near Ilia Topuria too fast. Ilia could take him down, out-grapple him. Yeah, that's a no for me on that one. Justin Gaethje, low-key, that's a winnable fight for McGregor. McGregor want to keep that on the feet. Gaethje's always going to exchange in a wild brawl. He doesn't look to take his opponents down. We've seen him, he's never took anyone down. So McGregor could win that one. I don't see it, though. I just don't think McGregor's that good anymore. Not as durable, not as fast. McGregor's main, tool was his speed. We see him dismantle Jose Aldo, Eddie Alvarez, Cerrone, Diaz. All the guys he's beat in his time was with his speed and power on the feet. However, when you lose the speed, the power will not be able to. You won't be able to land the shots as often. Yeah, I'd go with Justin Gaethje winning a decision there. Maybe even a TKO, probably a late TKO. Ilya round 1, round 2 KO. Arman Sarukian, definitely not. That's an awful matchup for McGregor. Arman would just out-grapple him and sub him easy like the Dan Hooker fight. McGregor in his prime couldn't barely grapple, let alone on McGregor outside of the cage. All the coke, all the partying, all that shit. I'd heavily lean Arman round 1, round 2 sub. Same for Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira, we just see what he did to Max Holloway, and Max Holloway's a better defensive grappler than Conor McGregor nowadays. Maybe prime Conor would have survived. We see him against Khabib go four or 5 rounds. I think it's 4. Yeah, Charles Oliveira, incredible grappler. The only guy I can see out grappling him in this division is Arman Sarukian, maybe Ilya, because we see as much as people claimed Oliveira's the best on the ground, Ilya out grappled him. So did Arman. Now, Arman didn't really out-grapple him. Ilya's grappling is very underrated, but yeah. I'd go with Charles, easy round 1, round 2 sub. Max Holloway, who's rumoured to fight. Sorry, I'm going with Max Holloway. Max Holloway, I think he's just too high output, too fast on the feet. He's tall, got the range on McGregor. Incredible low kicks. McGregor's, he's always had troubles with the low kicks. I would lean Max Holloway. Probably around a late TKO, round 2, round 3, just chopping the leg. Popping the jab. McGregor won't be able to get near him. Give me Max Holloway by decision. Benoit Saint Denis, same as Arman and Charles. Benoit would just take him down. But McGregor could catch him on the chin, Benoit's a bit of a madman. We see him rumoured to be fighting Paddy Pimblett. I'm low-key picking Pimblett there. I think Pimblett's very underrated right now. Getting on to Paddy Pimblett, I think Pimblett subs Conor McGregor. He may not even get him down. They could pull like a flying, what's it called when he does that shit? He did it to Chandler. Like pull a guillotine or a flying armbar, something like that on McGregor. McGregor grappling is a huge weakness. Gamrot smudges him, gets a submission similar to the Riverich fight. Is it a hot take to say not prime Conor McGregor, current Conor McGregor is on level, if not the same as an Esteban Ribovic? Or am I underrating McGregor too much? I don't know. I just don't rate McGregor that much anymore. What's the point? How old is Conor McGregor? Let's do a quick Google. Conor McGregor age. Conor McGregor's 37. Yeah. Honestly, why is he returning? A big payday. He doesn't need the money. But Pimlet easily dismantles him, subs him. Gamrot subs him. Dan Hooker. That's a winnable matchup for him. Dan Hooker, not the most powerful guy. Very durable. Grappling's pretty low level. I could see him beating a guy like Dan Hooker. And to be honest, in the top 10, that's the only guy I could see him having a decent fight with. Why has he not gone for a Dan Hooker fight? I mean, obviously, the Holloway, nothing's been announced yet. He may not even fucking come back. But Dan Hooker is probably the only guy I see him beating in that top 10. Moicano, as washed as he may look on the feet, he probably gets McGregor down. Or they could have trouble early if McGregor comes out there fast, puts a pace on him. I'd lean to Moicano beating Conor McGregor by submission. Mauricio Hufi, oh dear, this is literally Murphy's not that good. Murphy looks like a prime McGregor on the feet. Too fast, too elusive, too powerful, too slick. Would easily KO Conor McGregor probably nowadays. Incredible kicks. McGregor didn't possess as lethal as kick. What am I even saying? I keep fucking stuttering. Mauricio Rufy possesses all of the striking ability of Conor McGregor, if not better, with the advanced kickboxing kickboxing he possesses. Training with Volk now. That's only going to do him better with the fight IQ. The grappling defense has improved after his or check you could say against BSD. That win has only aged well. McGregor versus Fiziev, I would probably favour Rafael Fiziev. You know, McGregor, okay striker against Fiziev, but I think Fiziev's pace on the feet would be too much for McGregor. I think he'd drown him. But, you know, he's coming off of a couple of losses. Got chinned by Rufi, Gaethje before that. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's fought much since. Obviously, tore that ACL against Gamrot. But I do think he'd still beat a current day Conor McGregor. Too fast on the feet. Has the grappling background. I think the Muay Thai would be too much for McGregor. But McGregor could win that even striking bout, probably stay on the feet for the full 15 minutes. I would favour a Rafael Fiziev. Benil Dariush. I would actually pick McGregor to beat Benil Dariush. The Benil Dariush chin is completely gone. However, Dariush could get him down, out grapple him, submit him. But I'd favour McGregor on the feet, be able to stuff a takedown. I think if he fought a guy like, Dariush, he'd be aware, plan for the takedowns. And I think Dariush, he's in his prime. He's the simulation. We're going like 38, 40. And McGregor probably able to stuff a couple of his takedowns. Dariush hasn't got the high level striking to beat a guy like McGregor. I'd favour McGregor to beat Benil Dariush, to be honest. Nasty KO win, not a nasty KO win. The chin's gone to Dariush. Michael Chandler, such a 50-50 fight. That's what I want to see. Really, I think there's no point matching him against Holloway. Holloway's one of the best strikers in the division. But Michael Chandler, that's a 50-50 fight. If Chandler uses his brain, which he probably not going to, I could pick Chandler. I think he could nuke him with an overhand as he comes in like a retard, as he always does. He's got the grappling background. He never uses it. He just wants to slam you down, and then you immediately get back up. But McGregor could catch him coming in. McGregor known for his counter striking, incredible. You know, see him against Aldo, obviously. But that isn't current McGregor. McGregor's striking may not be as good anymore. I think Chandler would be too fast for McGregor, drown him with the grappling. The striking and possess problems because he's so wild and fast. I'd pick Chandler to beat Conor McGregor, to be honest. Manuel Torres, ooh. Yeah, I'd go with Manuel Torres to KO McGregor. I think he's too fast and too powerful. McGregor, bigger than McGregor. McGregor could get him though, fraud check him. Torres hasn't really fought anyone that good. Let's be honest, his best win is it really Drew Dober and Esteban Rubic? It is. Wow. Yeah, I would still go with Manuel Torres. I think he looks like a real prospect. And sad to see he pulled out against Benil Dariush because I think he would have beaten Benil Dariush. But I would go with Manuel Torres to beat Conor McGregor. Freziam, the striking's a bit questionable, but I think the grappling of Freziam is too good. He's too long, he's too rangy. Low kicks of Ziam are good. I think I'd favour Ziam to beat Conor McGregor, take him down, submit him, control him. Ziam's grappling looks very good. Strangely, they've given him the Australian guy, Tom Nolan. I'm pretty sure the guy's name is. It's a bit of a weird matchmaking when you've got a top prospect here, Ziam. Why have they not just matched him up against Chandler or Fiziev or someone like that? But I'd favour Ziam to beat Conor McGregor. And now into the welterweight division. If he comes up to the welterweight division, First of all, I think he'd be undersized for the welterweight division. He wasn't exactly a huge lightweight. So moving on to the welterweight division probably isn't advisable for him, but the weight cut sucks. And it's an option for him forward. Islam Makhachev versus Conor McGregor. There's no point even talking about that. That's an easy Islam Makhachev win by submission or submission. McGregor wouldn't last 5 rounds. Easy submission win for Makhachev. JDM. That's more competitive than it sounds. JDM is an incredible striker, but he's not exactly a power puncher. He always gives you a chance. I probably would favour JDM by TKO though. I think the combinations would be too much for McGregor. JDM, big guy in the division. JDM could probably even take McGregor down. That's what I think JDM should do against Carlos Prates when they fight in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I would go with JDM to beat McGregor. Ian Gary. I'd go with Ian Gary to beat McGregor. By decision, Ian Gary doesn't KO anybody half decent. Gary's too technical, incredible low kicks. Takedown defense, not that he'd need it against McGregor. Rangy, likes to pop the jab, very good counter striker. I'd go with Gary to beat McGregor. Just don't think McGregor's that good enough anymore, too small. But if he catches him backing up, he could put one on the chin. Gary does seem a bit sus chin-wise. He doesn't come across as that durable, but I would favour Gary to beat McGregor. Michael Morales, he does him so badly. Michael Morales, honestly, I know this isn't to do with McGregor, but if anyone's going to beat Islam Makhachev, it would be Michael Morales. I would pick Michael Morales to destroy Conor McGregor in round 1. He's far too big for McGregor. I mean, Morales could literally fight Carlos Hallberg, and it wouldn't be that ridiculous to say that. The fucking size difference. Yeah, Morales easy KO over McGregor. Bilal Muhammad. All depends on the takedown defense of McGregor. McGregor would outstrike Bilal Muhammad, but I think Bilal would get him down and work him like the Leon Edwards fight. I would pick Bilal Muhammad to beat Conor McGregor in his current day. Carlos Prates, the exact same as the Morales fight. Carlos Prates would find the chin of McGregor. He's too wild of a striker, too big, too rangy, too long. I would pick Carlos Prates to beat Conor McGregor. Sean Brady, that's an interesting one. If McGregor could stop the takedowns, I think he's a better striker than Sean Brady. We'd be able to outstrike him. But I'm leaning towards Sean Brady to beat Conor McGregor. McGregor's always struggled with the grappling. I honestly think Sean Brady's going to beat Buckley, who we'll get to in a minute. I think Sean Brady is very underrated. Yes, he lost to Morales, embarrassingly, but that's Michael fucking Morales. Who has Sean Brady lost to? Obviously Bilal Muhammad, but in his current prime self, destroyed Edwards. Arguably should have got the title shot off of that. Decided to take the fight against Michael Morales, got chin. I would pick Sean Brady to outgrapple McGregor and get a submission win. Kamaru Usman. That's low key. Nah, Usman's grappling is too good. Usman had outgrappled McGregor. McGregor won't be able to defend the takedowns. On the feet, it's an even bout because Usman's striking is pretty shit, always has been. Especially now, he is just equally out of his prime. Leon Edwards. That is low-key a winnable fight for McGregor. I would pick Conor McGregor to beat Leon Edwards. I think he could outstrike Edwards. Probably packs more power. And Leon Edwards is just not that at the moment, is he? Very good counter striker, very good low kicks, but the grappling's a bit suspect. I would pick McGregor to beat Leon Edwards. I think the confidence is rock bottom for Edwards. I know he's only losing to the best of the best, Prates number 5, Brady number 6, Bilal number 4. Yeah, I would go with McGregor to beat Leon Edwards. I just think he'd pull it out the bag. That's a bit of a risky one for him, but I think he could beat Leon Edwards. Buckley, I think Buckley's too fast for him. He does him like he does Wonderboy. I think Buckley would beat Conor McGregor by KO, back him up against the cage, land a nasty overhand, right hook, sink on the chin of McGregor as he's backing up. Too fast, too powerful for McGregor. Gabriel Bonfim, we've not really seen him being tested. I don't actually know why he's number 10 in the world. His best win is Randy Brown. But if he can replicate that type of performance against Randy Brown, I think he could do that against McGregor. The grappling isn't there of McGregor. I think I might actually pick Bilal to beat Bonfim. I think the grappling is the weakness of Bonfim. I think on the feet he's an incredible striker, very powerful, very tall, very rangy. Kind of like Ian Gary, kind of like Morales, kind of like Prates, just a tall, lanky striker. I think he'd beat Conor McGregor. Gilbert Burns is obviously retired, and I would pick Conor McGregor to beat that Gilbert Burns that showed up against Mike Malott. Gilbert Burns can't take a punch to the chin. You could get McGregor down though. Mike Malott showed good takedown offense, but I would lean with Conor McGregor to beat Gilbert Burns. MVP, who the fuck knows? MVP, one fight he wants to go in there and brawl like he did against Shara and Kevin Holland, and the next year turn up like he did against Sam Patterson. So I do think MVP would beat McGregor. He'd pick him off at range. That honestly wouldn't be a bad fight. Big name for McGregor, a winnable fight. Yeah, I'd pick MVP to beat him though by decision because MVP's a bitch, low output fighter. Uros Medic, he chins McGregor pretty easily. Uros Medic is a very powerful puncher, crashes in there. I don't think, but yeah, McGregor could get him because he's a wild guy, but I think he catches him on the chin and puts him down too fast for Conor McGregor. D-Rod, that's interesting. D-Rod, very high output, not the most powerful, pretty slow, but he's got heart, he's got chin, he's got durability. I'd pick McGregor to beat D-Rod. I don't think D-Rod's that good of a striker. He looked pretty shit against Kevin Holland, but he still beat him. I would pick Conor McGregor to beat D-Rod. I think the striking is too good for D-Rod, too sharp, too precise. He'd counter one of those stupid, like... Remember what Reyes did to Allberg, where he just crashes him with his chin in the air? McGregor would catch him on the chin, rock him bad, put him up against the cage and get a TKO win. I'd pick Conor McGregor to beat D-Rod. Wow. I've not picked Conor McGregor to beat many people here. Colby. So again, it's like the Chandler fight. Colby's not a big welterweight, so I would. This is a winnable matchup for him in the welterweight division. If Colby could get him down, then probably. But Colby looks shit as well. I'd pick McGregor to beat Colby Covington right now. I'm surprised they're not making matchups like that for him against big names still who aren't doing that well at the moment, like Colby's, your MVPs, your Leon Edwards. He's a lightweight, your hookers, Dan Hookers. He's had enough problems with hookers in his life. Your Pimlets coming off a loss, someone like that. I don't know why they're trying to rush him in there against a Max Holloway. That's not a good fight for him. So yeah, I don't think he's anywhere near the current best fighter in the world in the UFC. I don't know why they're giving him Max Holloway, even if he does come back. Yeah, in the welterweight division, I'd pick him to beat Leon Edwards, barely, Burns, but he's gone, and D-Rod and Colby. So yeah, not many guys. I think he gets destroyed by anyone in that top 10 bar Edwards. Yeah, maybe even Edwards could beat him. Edwards is a pretty solid striker. They're pretty similar nowadays. In the lightweight division, smoked by Ilya, smoked by Gaethje, smoked by Arman. Yeah, the only guy I'd see him beating is Hooker, maybe Moicano on the feet, Fiziev maybe on the feet, Dariush, maybe Michael Chandler. Yeah, not many guys to be honest. I don't rate McGregor current day. Am I seriously underrating McGregor, or is he just that shit? You know, in his prime, obviously he smokes the majority of these guys. Maybe bar your Topuria, your Makachevs. He was one of the best fighters in the world in his prime, but he's just not there anymore. Not that same guy. I don't know why they're not giving him a big name like the Masvidals, like the Diaz's. I'm not too sure what they're doing with Conor McGregor. But big fight nevertheless. If he fights Max Holloway, we will all watch it, let's be honest. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think he beats in that top 15? Do you agree with me? Should he fight Max Holloway? Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.